Okay, I just got my results from my food sensitivity test from Everlywell. I think I say that right. So I took this test 3 years ago on February 9th, 2018. So 3 years ago, I took this test February 9th, 2018. And I got the results back, actually, it took like a month, I think, to get that. I don't know why, but I want to go through those results first, and then we're going to look at my new results, because our bodies can change day to day, right? And although food sensitivity usually builds up over time, so I wrote allergies because probably people know it more as allergies. So a food allergy would be I eat a piece of pineapple and I break out in hives, or my throat starts to shut down, right? Or cantaloupe. Those are kind of some of the things that people are more allergic to. Food sensitivities are things like I eat something and then I got this phlegm afterwards. I get really maybe sinusy, nasal drainage, or you may not even notice anything. But I believe food sensitivities, the way they test it is they cause more of an immune response, right? So some people will see it as more allergies or just that hacking in the morning, stuffiness, stuffy head, but it can be very mild. I think for most people, it's like when they eat something and they like, okay? For me, I have a skin issue that I've had quite a long time, and I do believe that's caused from leaky gut, and that I believe also that these, and I will show you pictures of that, but I believe that this food sensitivities, or IgG, which is a not an antigen, I want to say antibody, that is elevated in our body when we eat certain foods, happens because the digestive system gets messed up. And what do I mean by that? Most people over time, they'll take around antibiotics, they will have a very stressful time in their life. If they eat really bad crud, like junk food a ton, you start to lose the lining, the protective lining in our gut, right? Which is really, really important to our health. It's important to actually our mental health quite a bit. So this, I believe, and this my theory, but a lot of health practitioners believe this too, that when you start to get that lining, you get small like leakages through the lining into the blood, right? So there's like little holes, and for some people it's pretty severe, right? So they'll eat something, might have diarrhea, or I believe too that a lot of autoimmune issues can come from the gut as well. Okay, hi friends, how are you doing? So let's look at our 2018 results first. Okay, so this is Everlywell food sensitivity. We're going to look at 2018 and see how it compares. Not that I ever followed the directions. Let's get clear with that. So I did not really follow the directions of what they gave me. I did one thing that they told me. So they tested 27 foods. And here are my high reactivity foods. Okay? So high reactivity, you see, is class 3. Our measure were the strongest immune response in your blood sample. Not all high reactivities cause symptoms, but they may be to the most likely to. So these are good options to target in an elimination diet, meaning don't eat them. Okay, so my 3 things were chia seeds, clam, and coffee. Chia seeds, clam, and coffee. Now, I remember years ago having like a clam chowder or something like that. I didn't get itchy or anything like that, but I vaguely remember I didn't feel good afterwards, right? Now, chia seeds, at this time when I was taking this, I had just done it like a keto diet, or I was in the keto diet, and I had been having a good amount of chia seeds. But that was interesting too, that showed up here at high reactivity, because usually the things that you're eating a lot of will be the things you become sensitive to, because if you have that leaky gut, right, those little holes in your digestive system, then you tend to you tend to be more reactive of that, because your body's constantly, those little proteins are leaking through the gut and causing your body to have a response to it. Okay, so we talked about that. Now coffee, this was really interesting, and this is why I know this test was so real way back when. I was not a coffee drinker, right? So I never drank coffee. I never drank coffee. I liked the smell, but I never drank it. Well, I was on this keto thing, and I learned about this bullet coffee, and it was so good, and I was supposed to have family coming, and I was like, well, I'm going to get bullet coffee. And so I got the things, and I ground it for everybody, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to try it too. And I'm going to try it with my coconut oil and stuff, and that's a keto thing that people do. So I have the coffee. My parents are visiting, and I had the coffee, and I kid you not, I was in the bathroom like every couple of minutes, like every 10 minutes that day. I remember it was on a Friday. I wasn't able to do anything with my family because that was pretty significant, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. They had to go do all the things on their own. So, okay, yes, that is a Power Ranger in the background. What do you need? I'm working. Please stop.
I just need help.
Okay. Well, go ask Dad for his help, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Good night. Okay. So let's go back. So this showing me that it was my highest reactivity. The highest reactivity was coffee. I was like, wow, this is so real. Like, I really should not drink coffee or things with coffee in it. Now, let's look at this next one. Okay, so this next level is moderate reactivity. Okay, foods that are moderate reactivity are class 2 in your labs, can cause symptoms as well. So these ones can, they don't necessarily, but the ones that were the highest were banana, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese. Banana, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese. And I wasn't having any banana probably during that keto season, but I probably was having a good amount of cheese. But I forgot this, and I don't know if some of you remember my last year. I was like on a banana diet. Like, I was doing lots of bananas, and I had been right up to most recently. Okay, so crab, egg white, egg yolk, cow's milk, which I've always known when I drink milk, like I get nasally, I get bloaty, the scale doesn't move for me. Pea, green pea, sesame, brewer's yeast, and yogurt. And I make a really good yogurt in my Instapot, and that kind of bums me. But anyway, I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about that. So those were my 13 foods which I was mildly reactive to. And then here were my foods that class 1, or no, these were moderate, and this one is mild. So mild reactivity foods can create a smaller immune response reaction, but they can be sneaky symptom causers. Okay. So here we have cottage cheese, ginger, gluten, lobster, malt, mushroom, oregano, black pepper, spinach, squash, black tea, wheat, and yeast, baker's yeast. Okay, so that's that. And then when you scroll down, I have 69 foods that I have normal reactivity to. Okay, so they measured quite a lot of things. So back then, almond, apple, asparagus, avocado, all of these were normal reactivity. Blueberries, let's see what else. can kind of see all these chicken, yada, 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 garlic. Okay, so normal reactivity to these things. Peanuts, which is interesting because I do itch when I eat peanuts, but it may be because peanuts have a lot of mold in them. Okay, so that was that. So I didn't pay too much attention to it. I kind of remembered the three: coffee, clams, and chia seeds. And I have been probably for the past couple of years mostly staying away from chia seeds, but I didn't remember anything else, and I didn't really do anything else with those tests. So that was 2018. And again, the reason I'm glad that I have both these tests is now we're looking at, okay, what does 2021 look like at this stage? What have I been eating? In 2018, I was in keto diet. Right now, I'm in something called the biggest transformation, but there's no food restrictions, right? I can't eat junk food, but I can eat basically any healthy food, right? I can eat any healthy food. I can eat gluten, I can eat, milk, I could eat cheese, all of those things. All right, so let me pull up the next one. Okay, and let's look at this. Okay, so here my test shows that I have IgA reactivity above normal to 22 foods. So here's 22 foods that my body is producing antibodies to. Okay, and I have high reactive food. All right, again, what is a high reactive food? It causes the strongest immune response in their blood sample, can cause symptoms, but they may be most likely, so good option is to target these in elimination diet. Number one thing, egg white. Oh my goodness, I have been eating a good amount of eggs, probably almost every day, at least 5 days a week. I make egg muffins, I have eggs in so many things, but for most of you out there, you need to know that most people will at some time be sensitive to eggs. There's a lot, do your research, there's just a lot of not so good things in eggs, and our body can produce a response to it. And I have been eating, since I moved here to Mississippi, I've been eating good eggs. I've been eating good eggs for a long time, but like I'm talking like farm raised eggs. Like there is a farm here in Petal that I get these eggs from. So it's not their quality, it's just that eggs do tend to be more and cause people to have a lot of digestive issues. And actually, underlying digestive issues can cause a lot of depression, anxiety, weight gain, all of that, okay? And we know egg whites, guess what? They're in meringue, they're in, well, not that I have marzipan, but I have mayo, I have cookies, cakes, casserole, right? Fried rice and pad thai have eggs in them, as well as foam on alcoholic beverages and specialty coffees. Oh, okay. I don't do that so much, but all right. So eggs. Oh, what a bummer. Now my moderate class 2 activity is coffee. So there's again. So now I know the validity of this is high, right? Because in both of these tests, coffee is showing up. I haven't drank coffee again since 2018, but my body is not a happy camper with coffee. Cow's milk, knew it. I knew every time I drink it, even making my awesome yogurt that I've made lately, that cow's milk causes issues for me. And then ginger, and I kind of vaguely remember that me being sensitive to it. I don't remember if it was on the last test, but I remember that ginger is just something that I tend to be sensitive to, okay? So if you just got on, we're doing the Everlywell test, and I'm looking at my 2021 results that I just got in, and we compared it to the other. Now, so those are my two egg whites and coffee. So it's not a good thing for me to eat cheese. And one of the things I notice when I don't eat cheese, I don't get headaches, I don't get sinus issues, I don't get that, in the morning. I haven't been drinking milk, but when I do have my yogurt or something like that, I do notice that I get that, much more phlegm. I wake up in the middle of the night even under it. Now, here are some mild reactivity things. And this doesn't surprise me because I would have like almond milk almost every day or almond butter. So I know my body really is saying to me, you know what, you probably have a little bit of leaky gut going on. It's time to stop having it so much. I probably will try. I will do an elimination diet. I'm not sure how long I will do it. I think it's recommended at least 3 weeks, if not more. I think some of these things take 6 weeks to really be eliminated. But okay, so we have almond, we have apple. Now this is interesting too, because recently when I've been eating apple and I've only been trying to eat green apples, I've been sneezing. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I have about 2 fruits a day. And when I was having an apple, I would sneeze. And I'm like, oh, it's probably because it's got a little sugar in it. I also can't do apple cider vinegar. In the liver cleanse that I do, I have to do apple cider vinegar. And that's just really strong for me and a little bit too much. Banana doesn't surprise me. I've been doing bananas at least for a year, probably almost every day. So I have mild reactivity to that. Barley grain, this is unusual, not sure where that comes from. Bell pepper. Bell pepper, they are in the nightshades. I had probably been eating those quite a bit. Chicken, mild reactivity to that. So again, I might go a period of time without having chicken. Clam, okay, so clam moved from the highest reactivity now here to a mild reactivity, but I know that I'm staying away from it. Egg yolk. There goes all the eggs. Eggplant. Garlic. Oh, I love my garlic. Green pea. Now, this is a big one for those of you who have shakes. I know in Young Living, our shake does have both whey in it, which is kind of like a milk product. This green pea has green pea protein, and other shakes that are on the market too, or a lot of the vegan options are green pea protein. So this doesn't surprise me. It comes up mild reactivity because I've probably been having that, 4 or 5 months having shakes. And I noticed with one of my shakes that I have that has the whey in it, it has the dairy in it, I sneeze. Like I feel bloaty and I sneeze with that. So mozzarella, no pizza. Orange, oregano, rye, sesame, and white potato. And again, this is mild reactivity foods. And it says here they can be sneaky symptom causers. And the reason I say that too, I always reference this one patient I had years ago. And she ate so good, but she was in a lot of pain every day. She was a healthy woman, she was active, and she couldn't understand why she was in pain so much. And we just looked at her diet, it was very clean. Every day she would have one little square of chocolate. One little like Hershey chocolate or whatever, Nestle's. It was like one square, that's it. I said, just eliminate that for a while. And all of us, we have that one thing, right? 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of peanut butter every day, or this one. I used to have Cokes back in the day. We all have that little one thing that might even be healthy, or we think it is, but it could be causing you to have more pain. It could be causing you to have more allergies, to be more sensitive, to wake up stiff in the morning, to wake up hacking in the morning. So much. And an immune response like this too is going to lower your immune system. Okay, so back to the lady with a piece of chocolate. She eliminated the chocolate and she could not believe the percentage. It was, on most days, it was at least 30%. She's very detailed, articulate. She's like, most days it was at least 30% better, but many days it was 50 to 60% better. Just eliminating that little piece of chocolate. So, do you have to spend, I don't know if this was super expensive, but I know it was probably over $100. Do you have to spend the money on getting the Everlywell tests? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can look at your diet and say, well, what do I eat a lot of, right? You could start there. Dairy, gluten wasn't on mine. That was great. I haven't eaten gluten in a long time, but the point is, like, you know, these are the kind of the eggs, dairy, like milk, cow's milk, all of that. And what did I say? Gluten. Those three things can radically change things for you. And I didn't even talk about what it does for kids, right? Not kids, but complex issues. People, autistic, Asperger's, dyslexia, all of that. And I talk about my son quite a bit too, of if he has a weekend where dad and the kids go to Five Guys, or our family has pizza, or things like that, and maybe it's not just one day, but it's like a couple days on the weekend where he's just getting a lot of gluten, a lot of sugar, or things like that. Literally on Monday during our school, his handwriting's way different. It's messier. It is B's and D's go backwards, letters go, like, it is noticeably different. So that one little thing that you think you can't live without, I'd suggest maybe even starting there to do your own elimination diet. But if you want to try it Everwell, I think they sent me some coupons or referral things. Let me know, or I'll put a link, and try it. I mean, it really might be worth. My opinion, so my final opinion on the Everwell results. Looking at the two tests, which were 3 years apart, February 2018 to May 2021, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, so 3 years apart. I do feel that this is a very valid test. I feel that it gives you some areas that you can work on. The number one thing that I would do is get rid of those high reactivity foods. Like for me, I'm going to be getting rid of the egg whites, right? And I also am already on board with cow's milk. I'll make sure that most things I don't do ginger, because in the health world, ginger is a friend, but an elimination diet doesn't, like, this doesn't mean that I am forever going to react to these things. We know over 3 years that coffee still is a big trigger for me. Cow's milk is a big trigger, and eggs, right? Eggs moved up in terms of reactivity. Coffee moved down a little bit, but I never drink coffee. And cow's milk, I think, stayed the same. And then these things, these mild reactivities, I'll find some time where I can do this, but I've already stopped these two fruits. I know everyone loves these two fruits, but there's lots more fruits we can do. I'm going to stop the almond butter, and I'm going to stop the almond milk. I'm going to do my best to stay off that. Interesting enough, one of my, I don't want to say cheats, but one of the things I am doing on this biggest transformation is I have these little bars, and they have almond in them. And I knew, I mean, they're chocolate and almond and stuff like that, but I knew it wasn't the best for my body. And of course, this is showing me that too. I'll stay away from bell peppers. I most likely will eliminate chicken for a while, but I will do all three of these categories. And I'll get back to you and tell you like how I feel, how did my weight loss go, did I notice anything different? And again, I will show you some pictures of my skin issue too. So I know that I have things going on because I have had a skin issue for a long time. It's in like the hot areas of my body. It's underneath my like, you know, where you wear your bra and stuff like that. Let me see this. I might have to show you in my YouTube video. I'll be showing you. This is going to go on YouTube, so please make sure that you subscribe and like our video here if this was helpful for you. I'll put in the comments to a link to the Everlywell test as well. Okay, I don't see it. Oh, maybe this is it. All right, so I'll show you what this looked like on week 1. Oh, that's not a good picture. Let's see. This is it. So this is kind of like right under my chest line, and you can see, yeah, it does not itch. It gets worse if I have sugar. But this is a big sign too. Skin issues are a big sign for leaky gut. Like something's going on. Liver issues and leaky gut. Any kind. Psoriasis, huge. For any types of psoriasis has a lot to do with the liver and gut, leaky gut. Again, my professional opinion, but a lot of professionals agree with me too. Like the hub of health begins in your gut. If you don't take care of it, if you don't restore the gut lining, you're heading for some trouble, including much more anxiety, insomnia, allergies, autoimmune diseases, and the list goes on and on and on. I have a great referral too if you want to work on these things. Functional doctor that I'm working with right now. If you would like that, I will put her information in the comments too. All right, you have a great night. Bye-bye.